All right, everybody, here we are live once again for another day of winter storm coverage. All right, two in a row because we are really looking at an intense winter storm at the minute. It has kind of moved off to the east here from where yesterday it was kind of a Midwest deal. Right now, we're looking at more of a northeastern deal. Okay, so we got a lot of winter storm warnings up here from Pennsylvania into Maryland, West Virginia, Kentucky, Virginia, all right, even Ohio. And we've also got some winter storm warnings up here in northwest Indiana where we could be looking at some intense lake effect snow tonight. We talked about that last night, but just north of South Bend, I mean, we are looking at some extremely heavy snowfall there in southwest Michigan in the Niles area, okay? So be very careful if you're in that area. You are going to be looking at a lot of snow out of this event, all right? But everywhere else under a winter storm warning or a winter weather advisory could be as well, all right? Charleston, West Virginia area is seeing some heavy snow as well, all right? All these grayish colors, that indicates extremely heavy snowfall. Okay, so we could be looking at some intense whiteout situations here just north of Charleston, West Virginia here too. Okay, so only travel if necessary at this point, I would say. We also have a whole slew of wind chill advisories and warnings off to the west of this here from where this event has already passed through, right? All these kind of light bluish and grayish colors, those are your wind chill advisories and warnings because all of these areas under those warnings could be looking at temperatures and wind chills at least below zero, and a lot of areas getting way cooler than that. Okay, so it's going to be an intense stream here, probably in terms of snowfall for some of these areas, but also like gusty winds, whiteout conditions. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reading chat now. So if you have anything you would like to say, go ahead and put that down below. Let me go ahead and pull that stream up. But that is what we are working with here tonight. All right, kind of similar to yesterday, but once again, very different area and now probably a little more intense. Yesterday was kind of what is going to happen in this event. Now we're looking at what is happening right now in this event, So if you guys are excited, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into the coverage here. I would like to mention we have a flash flood warning here in portions of Colorado. Now, you may be wondering, how did this happen in the mountains of Colorado? Why is there flooding whenever it's far below freezing? So how would rain fall, right? Well, it actually didn't happen from rain, all right? Stream gauge reports a rapid drop in water level along the Roaring Fork River near Basalt. The potential for an ice jam release, all right, is imminent, okay? So flash flooding from an ice jam release is this hazard here. So basically, there was a big chunk of ice across a river, like a huge one, and it unfroze. It thawed out. Now that it is getting a tad bit warmer here, as you saw in the winter weather radar, we're looking at wintry mix, so it's right around that freezing mark. So those ice caps are starting to melt there, and they are going to rise the water levels up from the river so high that it could cause some dangerous flash flooding, okay? So be extremely careful. We also have a pretty similar thing to that happening here in the Chicago area, just not quite as intense. All right, we got a lot of snowfall in here in the Chicago area, but I'm talking about these flood advisories and flood warnings. Ice jams, okay? These ice jams can cause a lot of problems. Now, once again, they're probably not quite as intense here, so we do not have any flash flood warnings, but one could be imminent, all right? We had a flash flood watch up here in this area just a few days ago because this ice jam has been happening for a few days, okay? So all around, very intense event with multiple areas that have different problems, and I mean, the problems are extending all the way from Montana down to Georgia. No matter what problems they are, there are problems, all right? We've got a whole line of hard freeze warnings here in the deep south. So again, only travel if necessary and do so safely, okay? Down here in these darkish purple colors, those are your hard freeze warnings for some very slick roads, very icy conditions. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with tonight. Right now, we do not have any snow-related warnings in effect, but we have heavy snow in a lot of areas, and then we also have that flash flood warning, right? So one thing I would like to talk about is that we could be looking at a pretty intense storm next week, okay? And when I say storm, I mean thunderstorm, not a snowstorm, all right? But down here in the deep south again, we're going to be looking at another round of moisture pumping up from the Gulf of Mexico, bringing some intense thunderstorms potentially, especially early next week, but really every day next week we could be looking at something. So you're going to want to look out, especially in like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, that whole area down there in the deep south. You're going to want to look out because it could get extremely stormy down there. next week. So, gonna go ahead and give my voice a little bit of a rest here because I have been talking for a solid 4 minutes straight now, and just kind of chill here. So yeah. Oh, hello, Mr. Storm. How's it going? Thank you for tuning in. I heard you've got a good amount of snow on the ground in your neck of the woods here in the Long Island area. Got quite a bit of that here too in Illinois. Uh, Looking at about 3 inches of snow in my area. Measured 2.3 inches of snow here on Long Island. Yeah, there was a report of 3 inches in an area about 15 minutes away from me. So, I haven't personally measured here, but yeah. I mean, it was windy here too in my area. So, it was blowing snow. And I mean, at some points, it really looked like there was a weak blizzard happening. But yeah. Let's see here. Go ahead and leave your location down below in chat if you have any questions about it. Looks like right now the two intense areas are going to be South Bend, Indiana, and then also Charleston here in West Virginia. Very heavy snowfall falling in both those areas. I should probably turn the winter weather radar back on here. But you can see, once again, those grays and the whites, those are going to be your very intense areas of snowfall. We can go ahead and see the projected snow totals for a lot of these areas just by reading the winter storm warnings. So, it looks like a lot of this event is going to be over for this area, so they're saying another 1 to 2 inches could fall by the time this is done, but there has already been a ton that has fallen in this area. Let's see here, South Bend, this county here in Indiana, heavy lake effect snow. So there's already, again, a lot of this event has already happened here, but 3 to 8 more inches of snow could fall in that area. We're kind of looking at the downward trend of this event a little bit, but I mean, I'd say we're kind of right at the peak, really. Maybe a little bit below the peak. So yeah. Looks like we got a little bit of snow here in the northeast, but really this is a, I don't really know what to call this area. I guess you could just call it, like Appalachia. That's probably a good name for it. But that area in that circle I made is where we're watching, and then that little corridor there in northwest Indiana and southwest Michigan. But again, that's all lake effect, and I mean, you can see we only have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for probably 10 plus counties in total, like a little over 10 counties in that area. So it's a very isolated event that's going to be happening here in the upper Midwest. Anybody just tuning into the stream tonight, we are doing winter storm coverage here for much of the Midwest and Northeast and other areas too, like the Deep South. It's getting pretty cold down there. Hard freeze warnings kind of widespread. So if you have any questions about your location, go ahead and leave it down below in chat. Go ahead and pull it up. I am using Radar Omega for this stream. Not a sponsor, just a very good weather radar app in my opinion. I am using the highest level of subscription, so I may get some added benefits than if you were to just download the app straight away, but like the base level of the app is still pretty good. So that flash flood warning here for Carbondale, Colorado is in effect for 100 more minutes. So a little under 2 hours, so look out for that. Flooding possible in that area because of those ice caps melting. Not really ice caps, just like, what do they call them? Ice jams? I think that's what it was. But yeah, we did have quite a few special weather statements in effect earlier for some snow squalls across the northeast here. Kind of, not really the northeast, but like the Pennsylvania-Ohio border area. We had some winter alerts. We got Storm Chaser Brad Arnold out here right now in Cleveland, it looks like. Getting through some pretty good falling snow. I looked at his feed earlier, and he was definitely seeing some stuff. And then also, I believe this is Corey Gherkin up here in South Bend. I looked at his as well, and it's snowing pretty good there, as you can imagine, with all that lake effect. Not sure how long I'm going to be live for tonight. Probably not very long, if I'm being honest. Unless something really big happens and there's like an ongoing situation, but it looks like right now I'm kind of looking at a slightly calmer period. But I did want to go live just to kind of give y'all an update on this here. Give y'all an update. I don't know why I said it like that. But give you guys an update on this ongoing winter storm. This will likely move kind of just like north and east and affect more of New England here if anybody needs to be worried down the line. But right now, again, kind of isolated to the Midwest, Appalachia, Northeast, kind of tri-region area, you could almost call it. So yeah. We do not have any blizzard warnings in effect because the winds are not that strong in the most intense heavy snowfall areas, if that makes sense. Like where the snow is the heaviest, the winds are not very strong, or not as strong enough to meet blizzard conditions. But yeah, again, if you have any questions about your location, go ahead and leave them down below in chat. We are looking at a whole bunch of impacts here from this storm across like pretty much the entirety of the United States almost. Again, in a few days we could actually be looking at some severe weather. I would like to point out we do have a few storms here in the Western California area. These will likely not be severe or anything like that, but just thought it should be something that I should mention here. Out here in Virginia earlier, just off the coast, I believe we had some strong storms, a special marine warning or two maybe. And then we could be looking at some storms here in South Florida, but it looks like right now they're kind of staying out to sea. But I mean, they are strong. Arctic temperatures on Long Island, please. All right, give you an update on that. So let's see here. I don't know if I can actually bring up the temperature forecast here on Radar Omega. I don't know. Let me figure out a way to do this here. Is there like a thing that I can look at? Not sure. I'm not very experienced with this because I've only had the premium subscription for a little bit of time. Forecasts. Let's see here. Well, that didn't bring up anything. Oh wait, yeah, it did. Oh, okay. So what is this forecasting? The dew points. Snow totals. They really. Oh, temp there. So, all right. This will actually probably be pretty nice to look at here. This radar loop of the temperatures. So we'll go ahead and bring this up. In Long Island right now, it's about 25 degrees, it looks like. So we go ahead and play this out. And we can see that Arctic air mass from the north kind of get down south a little bit, but probably not quite going to reach Long Island, the worst of it at least. But it's looking like within the next few days, you could be looking, for some 20s, really, like the entire time. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get a good temperature read. Yeah, I mean, it's really going to stay in that 18 to 25 degree, maybe dipping a little bit below that, down to 17 degrees at times. But it's going to be cold. And while that doesn't sound bad, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, like obviously that sounds cold, the wind chills are going to make that even worse. Wind chills, I haven't personally checked for Long Island, but I imagine the feels like it's going to be about 0. Long Island, here, I'm just going to bring up something on my iPad to see if we can take a look here at the wind chills for Long Island. Let's see. Actually, I could probably look at that here with the thing I just used, forecasts. There we go. Feels like, or like wind chills. Nothing. Okay, yeah, let's bring up, just something here on weather.com. Probably not the most accurate tool to be using for this, but whatever. Alright. Yeah, so the wind chills right now on Long Island are going to be sitting at about 20 degrees. And it looks like tomorrow you're going to be looking at something pretty similar to that, and maybe getting down to the teens. Tomorrow morning, you're probably going to be in the single digits in terms of wind chill values, maybe around that 10-degree mark. And then on Sunday morning here, could be looking at pretty much the same wind chills, looking at about like 10 degrees maybe. So yeah, I don't know if that's what you were looking for. I hope that made sense. I hope that was helpful. Like I said, I'm not experienced with the premium subscription for Radar Omega here. So sorry about that, but hopefully that was helpful. Bring in the stream back up here. But yeah. So we got the reflectivity back up here. Tracking these storms once again. No like winter storm alerts. Well, I mean there are winter storm alerts, but not like snow squall warnings or anything like that. Looks like the Charleston, West Virginia radar is actually down. Got knocked out by, or like it froze up and stopped working or something. It's my guess. And that's really unfortunate because that's kind of our most intense area right now. So, South Bend, Fort Wayne. Looks like I'm going to be covering you for a little bit now. It's interesting. They only have winter weather advisories here up in Michigan. But, I mean, they're talking upwards of 6 inches of snow in the reading, which it's kind of on that winter weather advisory, winter storm warning threshold there, kind of right along the edge, if that makes sense. But, yeah. So, unless there are any objections here, I think I'm going to end things off here for today. Once again, very quick stream, just kind of an update on what's going on. If you guys did enjoy this stream, please once again like and subscribe. Probably, I mean, I shouldn't say probably, but there is a chance I go live next week if we do get an enhanced risk of severe weather. If that does happen, it'll probably be on Tuesday. So, might be going live sometime next week for severe weather. Who knows, I might even be going live again for winter storm coverage next week. There's just so much going on in the wintertime. Because people think it's all about the winter storms, but severe weather in the wintertime is like a legitimate thing. So, I don't know. I'll check up with you guys tomorrow. Sorry for the lack of weather videos recently. I've kind of been doing more Minecraft. Which, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get viewers that are interested in Minecraft and weather, because they're two very different topics. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.